Well, as we continue through in this next session, we'll explore the pivotal role of free zones in driving entrepreneurial growth and propelling the transition towards the new economy in the UAE. As one of the fastest growing economies in the world, the United Arab Emirates has become a very popular destination for entrepreneurs and businesses looking to expand their operations in the Middle East. The country's strategic location, which was touched on before, favourable business environment, and of course the tax-free policies make it an ever-attracting hub for international trade and investment. And one of the main factors, of course, of the success of the UAE is its very diverse range of free zones. So through strategic incentives, streamlined regulations and innovative infrastructure, free zones empower startups and SMEs to flourish, drive job creation, innovation, and also economic diversification. So we do thank our panellists who are on stage. Please thank Mohammed bin Humayden, the director of the Meydan Free Zone. Thank you so much. Also, we have to thank Zubair Makhdoumi, the head of B2B, the channel partner and alliances of the Free Zones Authority of Ajman. John Cunliffe, the Strategic Business Development Director of Rakeez. Thank you so much, John. Neelam Sharma, Managing Partner of Naja Corporate Service. Great to have you up here. And Siam Prabhu, the Managing Director and Senior Consultant for Arion. A round of applause for our second panellist, please. Thank you so much. Mohammed, starting to you, in your mind, what is the main role of a free zone when it comes to driving investments and business growth? And over the last few decades, how do you think free trade zones have helped the economy of the UAE?
Thank you very much. I think the free zone, when it has been created to attract the capital and to attract business, to attract the talent, and especially that which has been not offered by the mainland. Comparison also the service that's been provided by the free zone. An example of Meydan Free Zone, you can have the license before you're coming on board in Dubai or in UAE. You have the license. The time that you come to the board in UAE, you can start your business without any hesitation to have the approval or to go to any other government director.
Thank you very much. Zabir, you're working with the Free Zones Authority of Ajman. That was established in 1988 and has had so many successful stories in helping entrepreneurs on their path and achieving their dreams. What do you see are the benefits of setting up a business, particularly in the Ajman Free Zone?
It's a very common question, actually. I mean, whenever we meet our partners and customers, they do ask for a clear segregation of Dubai versus Ajman versus Ras Al Khaimah. But collectively, it all boils down to the nature of the business. It boils down to the total cost of ownership. It boils down to the fact what you intend to do, how many people do you intend to hire, are you in a condition to provide them spaces to live? So all these factors have to be accumulated into an amalgam of decision making. Ajman is at a very strategic location. It's very close to Dubai and Sharjah. And when you compare the total cost of ownership in terms of living, working in Ajman, it is comparatively more cost effective than Dubai. And that's why you see a lot of inflow of investors from different nationalities, 200 of them, who continue to come and invest in Ajman.
You're also forgetting the Director Generals are very proud that it can all be done over a cup of coffee in the same time. But when you sit down, cup of coffee, and it's all done.
Yes. Post-COVID, His Excellency spent... I'm witness to the fact that the journey we have had in the last year and a half, and the amount of time he has spent to get the technology front sorted. It is literally, when your customer is sitting in front of you, they will get the license in 5 minutes. And it's very easier said than done, because the amount of effort, energy, resources, time that it takes to build a platform and to have different departments in synergy with one another. I think we've come a long way, and we're continuing to build on this momentum, and you will see substantial results this year and the next, inshallah.
Thank you very much, Zabir. John, you're working for Rakeez. What do you feel are the specific advantages that Rakeez offers investors in the UAE? And perhaps you can even divulge into what sectors or industries you're focused on attracting and working with?
Yeah, good morning, everybody, and thank you very much for the opportunity to speak on the panel today. I'd just go back to the first question you actually asked at the start. You know, people ask about the success of free zones, and I think His Excellency's keynote speech where he talked about 50 different free zones is a demonstration of the success. There would not be so many free zones if they weren't successful. I saw a report recently talking about 700,000 companies being based in the free zones. That's 700,000 people living here, families going to schools.
Actually, John, I'll get you to hold the microphone up a bit higher.
Is it okay?
With your hand, because it sometimes plays with the receiver.
Sorry about that. So that's 700,000 families living here, sending children to school, going into the shopping malls, bringing their customers, bringing their suppliers. So that, for me, is a reflection of the success of the free zones. And then you coming back to the specific advantages of RAKEZ. You know, RAKEZ, if you look at our first quarter results this year, we brought in 3,000 companies. That is a record for us ever in one quarter, and we've got an ambition to do 10,000 companies this year. And, you know, that differentiation in the marketplace that my colleague Zubair was talking about, around the customer service, around the tailoring of the packages. I was very interested in the lady from Kizad this morning. She was saying about the different zones and the different packages. That's what we do. We try and understand the client's needs and tailor the package. We make the journey very easy. But also, we focus on the quality of life. You know, the quality of life in the UAE is probably the best in the world. I can tell lots of case stories and examples, but I actually took one investor jet skiing last November, and he was from the UK. And I said to him, what would you be doing in the UK now at the end of November? And he said, probably shivering, cold, wet and miserable. And I said, here we are in the UAE, jet skiing. And he said, you know, this is just amazing. And he actually relocated here with his family. So he brought his wife and daughter. So I think that ability to get to know your investors and understanding their needs and their requirements and being able to tailor the packages is very, very important.
Yeah, and on that point about the weather, you know, I'm fortunate enough to come from Australia, which is a sunny country as well, so I perhaps don't appreciate it. But a lot of people that come from the northern part of Europe, does it legitimately, I mean, it's nice to look outside and see it's sunny, but do you sincerely think that it actually has an impact on your mindset and your behaviour and the way you approach business?
Yeah, definitely. I just mentioned the example of the UK investor. Well, you can tell from my accent I am from the UK, and I just love 365 days of sunshine. Even during the summer, I go out to work in the morning and I love the warmth. And I think we don't necessarily truly appreciate that quality of life that people get when they come to the UAE. We focus very much on the business aspects, but we heard from the panel before about the safety, about the quality of education, about the multiculturalism. These are all so important factors when people are considering where they're going to live, where they're going to bring their families.
Thank you very much, John. Moving along further down to Neelam. Thank you for being patient. When it comes to a lot of investments, what do you think are some of the fastest growing industries that people are looking to invest in?
Well, good morning, everyone. I would like to thank you for the opportunity, first of all. The fastest growing investment sectors are, as we know, that tourism is the industry which is booming. Dubai or UAE has been the economy or the country which has attracted tourists globally. Post-pandemic, this is the only country where everybody has been there at least once or twice in their lifetime. So when travel and tourism is there, we know from the ancient times, countries have developed a sense of business through travel. Trade started through traveling across the borders. So this is one of the factors that why investors are flourishing, and related industries to tour and travel are booming. We can name some like healthcare, food industry, hospitality is another one. And as Dubai welcomes innovation and technology, there are the segments like artificial intelligence, fintech, and we have seen boom in renewable energy segment as well, because Dubai always welcome sustainable energy projects, and there is a green revolution. We are evolving the module which is more towards safer. It's safe for the globe, and these are the segments, I believe. And most of the industries related, there are certain startups in SME, hobby-based, I would like to add, hobby-based industries are also growing.
Yeah, certainly. I think COP28 was able to highlight the renewable energy sector and just the increasing demand that that's going to have over the next few years. Thank you, Neelam. Siam is down the end. When we're looking at businesses that are looking to come to the UAE, they want to operate in a free zone, are there any business activities that require a special approval if they're looking to work within a free zone?
Thank you, Gulf News, Gulf News management, Mr. David, Ms. Tina, and all management of Gulf News, Ajman, Media City, Rakis, Medan, and all others for arranging such kind of informative session, and the relentless effort of the Gulf News team in arranging such kind of seminars throughout the year. I'll come to your question.
Okay.
Let me just, out of my experience of the past 18 years, exclusively into this free zone type of business, let me narrate some of my viewpoints. Well, UAE can be ideally called as the land of free zones. In other parts of the world, it is called as import-export zone, economic zone, manufacturing zone. But here, the nomenclature is free zone. So that name itself attracts the global investors. Something is free. And proudly I can say that I coined the term, or I gave the tagline, UAE, the land of free zones. And I have written several articles on this in various magazines, including the largest selling news magazine in India, the India Today. So free zones are, the gems in our desert country. It's like gems. And our visionary leaders, our loving leaders, they know how to protect the country. They know how to develop the business and give the least impact, adverse impact of the new laws for the free zone companies. See, whatever laws come in, you can see, like for the free zone companies, you have like zero tax rate, exemptions, then out of scope. You have heard all these things. That is to protect the free zone companies.
I take it you're a fan of free zones. Is that correct? You're a big fan of the free zone.
Yeah, that's because I'm into this for 18 years, and we have onboarded more than 6,000 companies. And, we are closely connected to all these free zones. And now you can see, the Ajman free zone is sponsoring, something is happening in Ajman. Now we feel that.
I mean, you made it so true, that point. They're the gem, the free zones. A lot of people look at how glossy Dubai is in the real estate, and then they get back down. And you're saying from your experience, these free zones are really the rock upon which everything has been built on. Is that more the point you're making?
I got here.
The success of free zones,
yeah.
It's sort of the rock upon which the entrepreneurs are helping to build their businesses and help grow the UAE.
Come again?
No, well, just the success. Well, I'll go back to that first question, because I know you've got immense experience, and we do want to touch on that, but we need to hear from everyone else. Are there any business activities that require certain licenses or special approvals to work in the free zone?
I'll come to that. So, I was talking about the land of free zones, UAE. And we are being observed, or the world is watching us, how the free zone is functioning. I'll tell you one story, the real thing that has happened. One day, 3.5 years back, I got a call. I want to meet you to discuss about the free zones in UAE, the functioning of the free zones in UAE. I went to my cabin in office in Dubai Airport Free Zone. I found a gentleman sitting there. He said he is a member of parliament from Papua New Guinea, PNG. He wanted the regulations of the free zones, as a draft to implement there in PNG. So we arranged at a fees, and his secretary transferred the fees. I managed the draft resolution from India. I gave some amendments, some legal jargons, and we provided it. Now he is Minister of Finance in PNG now. His name is Rainbow Peta. See, the whole world, every government, every high net worth individual, the global investors, the startup companies, everyone wants to come to UAE because they want, even the government want to emulate the success story of the free zone. Coming to your question, the approvals. See, regarding the normal trading companies, the commercial trading, they don't need a special approval or anything, but there are specific activities, like there are a lot of activities which require special approvals. And the free zone themselves provide the NOC to get the special approval, or they support us in getting the approval. So it's a very easy process. It's not difficult to get a special, say for example, we do a lot of aviation companies. They need a civil aviation approval, chemical.
But overall, there's the success of the free zones, the ease of the free zones that you find that if you're working with the free zone, that's a lot of your success. I'm going to have to pause you there because I want to try and move along with the rest of everyone else. Yeah. So we'll come back to you at the end. Yeah. Mohammed, you're working with the Meydan free zone. As Siam was saying, the successful free zones, there wouldn't be so many free zones unless they were all successful. In your work with Meydan, how do you find your own unique position and how do you find a gap to be able to offer unique abilities to upcoming businesses?
Our unique position as a Meydan free zone is that we are 100% digital. That everything is going to be online. It doesn't require you to be in place. This is one. Second thing is we are working 24/7. That if you come during the weekend, you will find the people there and help you to support you on this one. Second is in public holiday. Certain people are coming during their holiday, and sometimes they would like to mix it to start up their business. We not only stop at this level. We also to support you in your tax regulation. We'll support you in your opening your bank account. We are going to help you until you start your business. We'll never stay aside from you until figure out all your challenges that you have it in the business.
And I think that's key. If someone's new to the UAE, they brought their family over, they're trying to settle down, get into schools, you stretch for time, and to have that 24/7 advantage is such a relief in a new country.
100%. We are like, as our airport is working 24/7, as our immigration is working 24/7, and we continue as also we are issuing the license 24/7. If you come 3 o'clock in the morning, you will find the customer service available there to provide you the license to start to operate your business.
Thank you very much, Mohammed. Zabir, you're working at the Free Zones Authority of Ajman. So many great opportunities. We've heard from the opportunities at Meydan that it's 24/7. Everyone's got a unique position. But if someone's having a meeting with the Free Zone Authority, perhaps what questions should they be asking to be able to work out that this is the right free zone for their business?
It's again a very, very important question that both the end customers and the partners that we work with ask, because John and I have had a privilege of traveling to many countries for attracting FDI into the country over the years. So this question is kind of multi-faceted in a manner that it again depends upon your activity type, whether you are an SME, you are into IT or into e-commerce, or you're a manufacturer who wants to manufacture something. It again depends upon the number of people that you intend to hire and the countries that you want to do business with. So all these factors plug in, and then of course, where do you want to bank with? Do you want to have a bank account in the country or or abroad. If a customer is coming in from India and China, they'll have different preferences in terms of what they intend to do versus a customer coming in from, let's say, the UK, Germany, or France. So all these factors are very, very important, but generally speaking, I think it all boils down to the speed of delivery and execution. And all the free zones have done a commendable job over the years, specifically post-COVID, in terms of improving their systems, performance, spending. I did highlight the kind of work that we have put in Ajman in general, but I think COVID was an opening factor for all of us to envision how we can streamline our processes better. And I think we've come a long, long way. There are certain rooms for improvement, but that's probably going to get better in the next 5 years.
I think so. Being, like businesses being self-aware, like we all need to be to find those areas of improvement. You've been here, a lot of experience, John, and we spoke about how COVID changed so much. The business types that are coming here, how have you found that change over the past 5 years? If we can wind back to 2019 or perhaps pre-COVID to now, how have you seen the types of businesses that are coming here to work with free zones?
So I think the range of businesses always evolves. If you'd said to me 5 years ago about AI, I probably would have had to look it up on Google to see what you meant. And I remember doing inward investment a long time ago in another country, and there was a rage for call centres and data centres and shared service centres. So there's always a cycle where the business sectors will change. But one of the key things I love about the work with Rakez is it's multi-sectoral. So the ecosystem that we've built up with 23,000 companies now is across SMEs, it's across manufacturing, it's across chemical companies. We have people that make cheese, we have people that make laptops, armoured vehicles, and that ecosystem I think is very powerful when we're talking to investors coming in, because they will generally have supply chain, they will generally have customers that are based in Ras Al Khaimah, and that is a very powerful tool when we're trying to attract investors. I always say I'm paid to say nice things about Rakez and Ras Al Khaimah, but go and talk to the clients that we brought in. Go and talk to the investors that are living, working in the UAE, working in Ras Al Khaimah day in, day out, and they will talk to you about the speed of service. They will talk to you about the support. That is a much more powerful voice for new investors coming in, is being able to talk to people that have done it.
And I think that Ras Al Khaimah, we know about its position, with gaming coming up, and it's just an absolutely booming, when it comes to an emirate. And touching on that point, I want to ask Neelam, when you're working with businesses, and they're obviously coming here, and a lot of people do see Dubai as the city that they want to come to, how important is it to kind of get around, and if you're looking to a free zone, to try and network and speak to people and get information on the ground before making a decision on your free zone?
I would like to simplify the question. Is it related
Please.
to how they should approach free zones for their business scope and the ecosystem? Is it the question?
Yeah, please, yes.
Yeah, okay. Thank you for the question again. Mostly now people, they are aware of the ecosystem of Dubai and UAE, and free zones are quite popular now. Everybody, when they want to start a business here, they know the cost effectiveness, 100% ownership, and the conducive tax environment it is provided by free zones in UAE. So as Mr. John already said, that they should have a set of questions prepared with them. They should have an agenda, because all businesses, they start from an idea. They must have a clarity of idea, and how well you execute and implement that idea, they should discuss it with the free zone authorities. And I would like to add, they must handhold some professionals in path, like there are many consulting companies, those who can help them to approach free zones and explain what is the scope of the business and right activity, and which free zones serve for which scope of business. Second thing which I would like to emphasize is they should have a budget planning, and they should discuss it with the free zone authorities. After the activity, this is something very important. And of course, there is ease of doing business, and free zone authorities and all free zones, they support all investors, and they safeguard their rights. And then one thing I would like to add, which people find it easier than other economy, is ease of doing business is one. Ease to do work means the support system, your teams, you're a strong leader, but your support system, you get multinational culture, and you get great teams to serve to your businesses, so that helps you to sustain your business furthermore. I hope it helps.
No, I think so, because on that point, I even find working here, there's just such a positive culture.
Yes,
A lot of countries, if people want to be successful, whether it's your friends or family, nah, that'll never work. Nah, what do you want to do that for? Just go back to school. But there really does seem to be this real culture of, if people can see that someone else is an entrepreneur and a creative thinker, they want to work with them and help them.
Exactly, right. Here, now the diversity part has made it more, it's the melting pot of culture, and all people coming from different part of the world, they contribute something to a business, if they are as a part of the team or even as a leader. So that's a great thing in itself.
There's an energy that people want to be a part of to facilitate their success. We are going to open up to any questions. I think roving man Gordon's often hanging around. If anyone does have any questions, we are going to open it up, because we've got such an experienced panel here on free zones. Siam, have you got another story in you? Are you confident? Do you have another story, experience of your? I thought you might. Yeah. Is that one working? Might have to get Neelam to pass it on.
Yeah, let me add one more point.
Please, yes.
Let me add 2 points, 2 suggestions. Now we have identified free zones as designated zone and non-designated zone. Now, in my opinion, all free zones should have a level playing field, because all of them contribute to the economy of this country. So, if fencing is a problem for non-designated free zones, then it can be like a virtual fencing, something like that, to keep this, so that let's not identify it as a free zone or non-free. This can be done by a government decree, saying that all the free zones established by government decree is designated zone. So the benefits of the designated zone can be availed by all the free zone companies, even the existing free zone companies in non-designated zone, because they are put into a bad state compared to the companies in the designated zone. That's why. This is my first suggestion to the authorities, that to diminish the difference between the companies incorporated in a non-designated zone and a designated zone. The second thing which I wanted to convey is that we have a federal tax authority. At the federal level, we have an organization to monitor, to control, to have the policies and all. So now we have authorities for each emirate for licensing, for incorporation, all this kind of business. Why can't we have an authority at the federal level, like Federal Free Zone Authority, which can have a general policy guideline? It need not have the absolute power, because of course each free zone is having regulations and authorities. They will have the independence to do that. But at a federal level, we may require, this is also a suggestion, a Federal Free Zone Authority to have some kind of policies, say in case of pricing. So for example, one licensing authority is saying, okay, we'll give it for 8,000. Another is saying, we'll give it for 6,000. Another 5,000. Then installments. So it can go to what level we do not know. So there should be some kind of guidelines and policies framed at the federal level, so that all these free zones can be members of that. So this is another thought which I was having, while observing the competition that is happening in the market, in the free zone business. That's it.
Yeah, no, thank you. And I think it's just part of the UAE success story, the free zones. And that's why, we love to have you on here, Siam, drawing on your experience. I think we might have one of the mics, could just be feeding back. But anyone got any questions? Has anyone got any questions here for our free zones? We've got one gentleman there at the halfway down on the right. Gordon's just going to take one of the microphones. Just a reminder that we'll be in consultation and in conversation with Creative Zone, speaking further about free zones. I think the gentleman down, Gordon, just down on the back right. So we'll have a further conversation with Creative Zone coming up just after 12 o'clock. Just state your name, please, sir, and then your question.
Hi, I'm Shafiq. I have 2 trade licenses, one in mainland and one in free zone. I'm a new entrepreneur. I have been in this country since 2008 and finally decided to start my own business 4 months back. I end up taking 2 licenses, to flourish the business. So my question, part 1 is, we have seen lot of advertisements going on, promotions going on for the free zones. It's actually easy to start a license, but when it comes to execution or the actual start of your business, there are still a lot of processes you have to go through. So what is it the free zones can offer in terms of easing out that things where actually you start a business? Because if you open Facebook, you open any social media, you will find hundreds of companies, business setup organizations telling very cheap, 1,000, 5,000, 8,000, you spend, you start your business, be an owner. I have worked from a cleaner all the way through supervisors, manager, all the positions with top FM companies, tier 2 FM companies, and I have earned all these 18 years and I have put the investment now. But after taking the license, the processes, till we start up the business, what is it free zone can do to improve that?
Okay, thank you for your question. Appreciate that. We're getting pushed for time. Anyone's asking, you're starting up a business, if I think I'm right, how does a free zone help you with the red tape and all the administrative work that can often be so hard when you're starting a business and also in a brand new country where the regulations are different? Anyone or everyone, if you want to answer this? Sabir, yes. If you want to, we might have to pass down a mic. Specifically, how does it help with the red tape?
So there are 2 sorts of investors. One are those people who do their due diligence even before setting up a business. Then there is people across countries who just know about UAE as a country and they've just heard it from someone and want to establish a business, right? For the people who have done their due diligence, license and visas are 2 major components, but after corporate tax, there are a lot of other ancillary services that not need to be plugged together in terms of banking, in terms of other support, which otherwise people will have to go to 10 different vendors to get it done for them, right? But then there is an disinformed investor who knows nothing about the country, who's just coming here to test waters. In these cases, it's our responsibility as free zones and the representatives of free zones to inform them in terms of what needs to be done. And there are a lot of networking sessions that we do. We call it matchmaking, wherein we facilitate these conversations in terms of people who have been here, done that, and how they've created success stories, right? So all these things do happen, and every free zone does around quite a few sessions every quarter or every month to kind of facilitate these conversations.
So it's not just the sign-up process, it's ongoing support?
Of course. I mean, sign-up and licensing is one part, and then execution of your business is probably the main factor, and the question was around it, right? So, and free zones do create these sessions. There are a lot of questions around venture capital. When John and I travel, okay, I'm going to start my business now, but how do I raise money? And then there are, you should be informed enough in terms of explaining to them how UAE is structured in terms of family businesses. How do family businesses invest in venture capital? So all these factors kind of help them make informed decisions. But every free zone does go an extra mile in terms of providing whatever can be done.
Neil, I can see you want to add, because I'm sure in your experience, when someone new comes in, you can probably tell within 10 minutes whether they're going to be successful or not. How do you then help with the ongoing process to ensure they can be there, as successful as possible? Yeah.
Firstly, I would like to add to
No, please add to the question.
Yeah, actually, I would like to say that there is a lot of confusion when it comes to advertisements and all. How it should start with the right business plan. And every free zone is different. There are sector-specific free zones that if you approach to right free zone, it helps you to reach to right consumer and entrepreneur database, because each free zone has great infrastructure that can support if it is rightly consulted and if the business plan is ready with you. So in that way, a lot of confusion can be avoided, because all free zones are different for sure. And some free zones, they specialized in, we have few to name, like Zavza, we know when it comes to logistics and warehousing, and we have international laws in DIFC, and we have Kizad, we have other free zones as well. So it's completely, we should approach to right people. That's where it starts. Now I would like to come to question.
Yeah, no, thank you. No, you've answered that very well, but I was asking, how do you, the ongoing support when you're working with a business that you can see, they haven't really thought this through. I can see that they maybe haven't done, like what you said, their due diligence. What's the ongoing support that you're looking for, courses or training? How do you support businesses?
Okay, as I said, the right planning, and everything starts with the right planning. So to support your business and the ecosystem of Dubai, UAE starts with the right planning. All free zones have great consulting. You can approach any free zone, and then there are the mediatories as well, those who can help you to plan. But you have to approach, you have to be the smart end user to approach to the right people. And second comes with there are great compliances, and there are safeguards to implement your company and to run your business safely here. But it's important to follow and go through the right approvals and right licensing process. And most important is to choose the right activity.
I think maybe the battery's gone dead, Siam, if you just want to pass on one of the microphones.
Sorry. So generally discussions starts with the budget, but I would emphasize that discussions should start with the scope of business and right activity. That is going to help you to find the right free zone and to run your business. As His Excellency added that under the great leadership of the great leaders of Dubai and UAE, all policies are investor friendly and business friendly, and there are great safeguards and laws. So I think that helps.
Yeah, no, thank you very much. We've got time, Siam, time for one quick story, one quick answer to finish off.
See, this company, incorporation of companies, to my friends, I'm answering you, it may not be, see, it's not a commodity or something that you go for the cheapest one. It may have a lot of limitations. So the business landscape has totally changed after, the new laws coming in. So you should definitely seek advice of a business advisor having good track record, so that you don't fall prey to, the cheap things, and then you end up in disaster. Because I've seen people after incorporating company, then they find themselves, in big problem. Because cost one after another it comes. So decision making is a very important thing when it comes to the incorporation related activities. I mean, for your company, because it's a company, it's not a commodity. So you have to take informed decision, as the Ajman Free Zone representative was telling. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Excellent question there to be able to get the reaction out of the three panellists. Can we put a round of applause for our panellists who have been here for session 2, looking at free zones? We have to thank Mohammed bin Humaydan, the director of the Maiden Free Zones, Zubaya Maktumi, the head of B2B, channel partner and licenses of the Free Zones Authority of Ajman, John Cunliffe, the strategic business development director of Rakiz, Neelam Sharma, managing partner at Nija Corporate Service, and Siam Prabhu, the managing director and senior consultant at Orion. Thank you very much.